Hi, my name is Somal Patel, and in this video, I'll be doing an article analysis of Just Act Normal, Concussion, and the Renegotiation of Athletic Identity. This article by Nicholas A. Dean from the University of British Columbia, he describes in his own experiences with sports-related concussions, and in particular, how his student-athlete identity would be represented and what would happen after the concussion. But before we start, we must define what automythography is. It is a form of qualitative research in which the author uses self-reflection in writing to explore anecdotal experiences and connect his autobiographical story to a wider culture and political and social meanings. One of the take-home points that I got from reading this article, or one of the main points that Nicholas was trying to say, is that it's not easy transitioning from being a student athlete or just an athlete in general to anything but an athlete. It takes a tremendous amount of effort and conscious will to rip yourself from your own identity and try to forge a new one. One of the main tests that we have right now for concussion protocols is the SCAT test. This is where you repeat a series of words that the doctor says to you, and if you're able to do it, you pass. And if you don't, then, well, that's actually a flag. So when Nicholas wasn't able to pass this test, his doctor had to give him the bad news that he was suffering from a concussion and that he would be able to, he wasn't able to. He had to stop playing sports for the foreseeable future until his head injury was able to heal. Most people aren't going to take something like that lightly. Since it's an invisible injury, you're not able to see it. It's not like a cut on your arm where it's going to heal over time. This is a head injury where it still heals over time, but you don't really have an exact time frame. It's harder to distinguish mental injuries from physical injuries just due to their nature. I think that this article is really strong in that it helps people further understand what could happen when you get a concussion as an athlete. Not many people understand what happens to you if you're injured on the job. On the job as in being an athlete and you get injured. A lot of people could be scared or unmotivated. Their life is going to change drastically. What the thing that they once knew was normal is not anymore. There are a lot of strengths in this article. One of the main ones would be the rising awareness that it brings to concussions. Me, for one, I have never suffered a concussion, but a lot of my teammates and friends have suffered actually quite a few concussions. And it's not their fault, but I think the institution's fault for not regulating the sports to the capacity that they're able to. Just because this injury is invisible doesn't mean it's not real. Acting normal isn't going to help you in any way. It's not gonna help you lie to yourself. You have what you have. But especially when you're a student athlete, it's not like your life can go back to what it was pre-concussion. You're going to have to go back to your schooling. You're going to have to go back to your sport if you're able to. And you're going to have to retrain yourself. From start to finish, it took about 1 year for Nicholas to officially resign from lacrosse. It took him this long just to kind of grow and learn from his experience of getting the concussion about how it's impacted his life and altered him for the better. A lot of student athletes see themselves as athlete students rather than student athletes, and this misconception can cause students to prioritize athletics over academics. Just because Nick retired from the sport doesn't mean that he's completely healed from it. At some point in every athlete's career, he's gonna have to give up the sport. And for him, it was an early retirement. That could have a lot of impacts on his life, but overall, I think it was the best decision of his life. His health should be the main concern for him, and no amount of athletic pride will overcome that.